Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the digital and social media news for leaders of nonprofits, churches, and faith-based organizations. I'm Natchi Lazarus, and this week we have news from Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and your business listing reviews on Google search. This is the show where we bring you the top 5 news you need to know for this week in less than 5 minutes. Let's get started. Our first big news is from Facebook. Facebook is renaming the way privacy settings of Facebook groups is listed. Earlier, if you see, when you find a Facebook group, you will notice that some of them are public, some of them are closed, some of them are secret. Those were the 3 divisions. Now, the closed and the secret type of groups are going to be renamed as private, visible, and private hidden. The closed group will be called private visible, and the secret group will be called private hidden. So they're just bringing in the word private into the way Facebook groups are listed and categorized. Because I think the CEO Mark Zuckerberg mentioned in earlier keynote that future is private. It was a very popular statement saying future is private. So they're building the word private and privacy into as many parts of Facebook as possible. So it's not just a change in the terms, but the article also says that they are coming up with initiatives called Safe Communities Initiative, which will use artificial intelligence and machine learning to detect bad content before it gets published. They're also doing a lot of back-end safety measures to make sure that the privacy aspect of Facebook is retained as much as possible, which is an encouraging thing to know, and let's just see how it rolls out in future. Our next news is from Google. Last week, Google announced a tool called Google Assignments, which will be a free tool inside Google Suite for education. I know there are many ministries and nonprofits listening to me who are in the education sector. So if you use Google Suite for Google Docs, Google Drive, etc., then you may want to check out this tool, because this seems to solve a lot of practical problems, like collecting the assignments, giving feedback multiple times to students, commenting on multiple documents, also checking for the originality of the content presented by the students in the assignment, citation. It also works nicely with the learning management software that you have, either set up inside or as a companion along with the LMS. So do check it out. Seems to be a nice tool from Google, and it's free as part of their suite. So do check it out. Our next news is from Twitter. Twitter announced last week that they will stop integrations with third-party data providers who collect consumer information for targeting ads. Facebook had done the same earlier, so looks like all the platforms are closing down on their relationship with third-party data providers because of privacy concerns and data leaks. And if you as an organization are using any third-party data provider for your campaigns, then you may want to make a note of this and double check with them. I think this is a trend that we will continue to see with many platforms. They will shut down their access to third parties. They will try to protect their own data. That is why it's important for you to build communities inside social media platforms, your own communities for your organization, so that you don't have to worry about changes that they make with third parties. Our next news is from Instagram. Instagram announced that the Spark augmented reality effects has now been moved out of closed beta, and anyone can create and publish augmented reality effects on Instagram. Augmented reality is simply taking certain objects like a 3D object and placing it on your real life using your phone camera. Now, and then you can create Instagram stories with it and post it to your community. Now, these type of things are important from a stories perspective, because Instagram stories and Facebook stories are one of the most consumed type of content, very popular now. So if you as an organization are wanting to take advantage of these kind of effects, and you have designers and graphic design creative teams that can create frames for your organization. Say, for example, if you're a non-profit with a cause, you can create a frame exclusively for that cause and give it to your community. So if you're interested in that, check out spark.facebook.com, and you can now enroll and start creating your own effects. Hey, before we move on to our final news about Google business listing, I want to take a moment to encourage you to subscribe and follow us wherever you're watching this. If you like to receive this news on your WhatsApp, then you can subscribe by visiting natchi.net/WhatsApp. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now let's move on. The final news of this week is from Google My Business. Google announced last week that you can view reviews in bulk. Now, if you have multiple locations and if you're getting reviews for different locations, earlier you had to spend a lot of time going through all of them. Now, in one place, you will be able to view, reply, and flag those reviews and manage them with ease. If you are a large organization with multiple locations, this is going to be a big time saver for you. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to dig deeper into any of the stories we talked about, then we've got the source links and transcripts in our news page, natchi.net/news. Please share this with other leaders of nonprofits, churches, and faith-based organizations, people who work in these type of organizations who you think will benefit from listening to Top 5 News every week. I will see you next week with another set of news items. Until then, you have a fantastic week. God bless you. Stay connected. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.